If you're suffering from any kidney problems, or maybe you have a genetic history of kidney problems, or maybe you think you're headed to having kidney problems, we're about to have a podcast because it's World Kidney Day. And I think you're going to really enjoy our take on kidneys and what we do to help connect your brain to your kidneys and the cells within your kidneys. So stay tuned.
Hello, guys. I am Cameron, and today I'm here with Dr. Chris Cormier. Today is World Kidney Day, so we're going to be talking about kidney health and function. Hello, Dr. Cormier.
Hey, Cameron.
To start off, kidneys are an absolutely remarkable organ. They filter our blood 24/7, but sadly, people rarely think about them. Why do you think that kidney disease has become such a global epidemic?
You can imagine the number of toxins in our blood is probably greater than it's ever been in history. And it's just because, we have chemicals, pollutants, toxins, additives, preservatives, microplastics. I mean, you name it, it's in our blood. It gets in our blood.
Yes.
And you can be the healthiest person on the planet, but yet, it's coming from clothing, it's coming from the air. Any exposure that you get to any types of these things, your body it gets in your blood.
Globally, over hundreds of millions of people are suffering with kidney issues. Is the real problem kidney disease being difficult to treat, or is it more that people don't worry about that organ until it's damaged?
Well, that's a long answer for me.
Yes.
But I'm going to just give you my summary. They're just factors in the body people don't think about. So like one factor that we deal with is just the power supply. Your brain is your power company, and it's wired to all your skin cells, your muscle cells, your bone cells, which we have trillions of these cells, right? And especially your organs and glands. Every tiny microscopic cell in a kidney is wired to your brain, which is a crazy thing to think about. But that's the way our God-made bodies are designed. And so when it comes to this connection, just that one factor, people should be having somebody check the power supply between their brain and their kidneys routinely to make sure that they're working properly. In our experience here at the Nerve Health Institute, the primary nerve to the kidneys is one of the most common nerves we see off in patients that come to see us.
Wow. If you look at modern society now, we were kind of talking about toxins in the blood earlier. There's so much processed food, so many environmental toxins, so much dehydration and poor sleep and chronic stress with patients. Do you think that we're unintentionally creating the perfect storm for kidney issues?
100%. Yeah, exactly what you said. The people that aren't hydrated, we always talk about oxygen being number one ingredient. We can't do without breathing. But water is number two, and then we talk about light energy being number three. That's that power company to all your parts, being your brain and your fiber optic nerves. But when it comes to hydration, some people aren't drinking enough water, or they're drinking the wrong type of water. And of course, if that water it dilutes things. It helps you to process things. So the less quantity of water you have, the more concentrated these toxins become, and the worse things can be in your body.
At the Nerve Health Institute, your clinic, you approach health slightly different than others. Instead of focusing only on symptoms, you look at the signals and ingredients that the body could possibly be missing, like oxygen levels, circadian rhythm, nervous system function in general. Do you think that modern medicine sometimes overlooks the fundamental signals and ingredients?
Completely. Yeah, completely. They want, if you go to see anybody that's conventional, the first thing they do is want to put you on a pill. But they don't think the first ingredient with anything, the number one ingredient in the human body is oxygen gas. So number two, like I said, is water. Number three is light energy. Number four is frequency. And number five is magnetism or grounding. And then number six is like nutrients. And so when it comes to these human bodies, it's kind of complex. And I think conventional and even a lot of alternative clinics, they miss these 5 or 6 staple ingredients that they should be focusing in on.
Let's talk more about that OWL method that you were just talking about, the oxygen, water, and light. You did add a few extra pillars there, but we can start with just those 3. If we optimize those 3 simple inputs, how much impact do you think that would truly have on kidney health?
It's a massive thing because, remember, oxygen is in your body for detoxification. It's the number one ingredient in your body that detoxifies. The presence of oxygen means the lack of disease.
Yes.
So that means a cell that is perfectly oxygenated won't get sick. It just is what it is. And so water is so important for so many different parts of your body as well. And then the light energy, like we talked about, is just critical, right? So just maintaining power from your brain to all your glands and all your organs and all your muscles and skin and bones, it's just critical for your overall health. And especially when it comes to your kidneys, when we connect all these things and put all these basic ingredients back, it makes the bodies less toxic.
People rarely consider the connection between nervous systems and organ health. Could chronic stress actually be one of the hidden contributors to kidney dysfunction?
Absolutely. So remember, we talk about each person having about 30 trillion cells, which is crazy. So from the moment you're born, those cells, they're made to self-heal. That we don't even have to think about it. They're just, that your body's designed to heal itself, every one of those cells.
Yes.
And unfortunately, everybody has genetic defects, so nobody starts with a perfect set of those cells. So there are cells that start out where they just don't have the full capacity to self-heal because of those genetic defects, and then combine that with stress in our life. So we have physical stresses, we have emotional stresses, and we have environmental stresses. At any given time, those happen in your life. They can damage groups of cells that maybe just never recover unless you properly rehabilitate them.
You have your clinic, the Nerve Health Institute, but you also have an online platform called Body Chargers by Dr. Chris, where you explore a lot of different technologies that are designed to support circulation, oxygenation, and cellular health. Do you think that the future of health may be better if it's a combination of medical care and certain technologies that support overall nervous system resilience?
You can't say it any better than that. The world is increasingly getting harder for us to live in.
Yeah.
It's getting harder on ourselves. I call it cellular chaos. So every day of this, every minute, every second of every day on this planet, it gets tougher for a lot of different reasons. But when it comes to this thing, like we had our clinic, Nerve Health Institute, and I love helping our patients so much, but it wasn't good enough because I couldn't go home with them. I want to go with them 24/7, and I couldn't. So we have all these things that I've done. I've rabbit holed about every imaginable thing you could use for home to help. And we've also pioneered some of our own things, like certain things you can do at home to get rid of certain things, or neurological specific exercises with frequency devices for home, with all kinds of recommendations for water and oxygen and light energy, magnetism. We have all kinds of things within our Body Chargers platform, which is an educational platform, literally to teach people how to maximize their self-healing at home, because it's that crucial.
Yeah.
So number one, we want people to understand what self-healing is. And number two, we want them to understand how they can maintain it by maintaining these basic ingredients on a daily basis.
Sadly, kidney disease is increasing worldwide. In many countries, dialysis has actually become one of the fastest growing medical costs. What would a truly preventative approach to kidney health look like at a global level?
So there are so many different things you can do, but obviously those basic ingredients, like if somebody wants to just start and they don't want to come to my clinic here because we're so unique and we have things that no other clinic really has. That's why we invented Body Chargers. So just going to Body Chargers and starting our 28-day cell sparking challenge, each day is going to teach you little bitty things that you should be doing to maintain your self-healing better. And most people, we're finding that when people join our Body Chargers group, they're not actually doing these things. And so these little bitty shifts allow the body to detoxify better, allows the energy to come back, the oxygen, the water, the light, these basic ingredients to come back into a human being so that their bodies start to heal again.
Amazing. Well, you actually answered my last question, but I'll go a little bit further. What would you tell someone out there that's suffering possibly with anything kidney-wise? What would you tell them that would give them a little bit of hope?
Yeah, so this is an issue with that's kind of personal, I think, for me, and I'll give kind of the full history on this. My dad has had his first back surgery when he was 19 years old.
Wow.
And basically the nerves in the lower back, if you want to think of your brain and your spinal cord, there's 88 major nerves that start here that are start up here, and they go all the way down So the nerves in the lower back, specifically the L3 nerve, was a lot of where he had issues.
Yeah.
L3, L4, L5, those nerves at the bottom. So he had a second surgery, and then those nerves there don't just go to the muscles in your legs and down your legs. They also go to the kidneys. They also go to the spleen, the descending colon, the adrenal glands, and the pancreas. So they're very involved. If you want to just think of the kidneys and the pancreas, you can imagine that L3. It's more the L3 nerve for the kidneys and the pancreas. But he developed, after second surgery, developed diabetes because that nerve wasn't functioning really good. Even though they relieved pressure on it, they didn't restore the energy flow through the nerve like we do. So that nerve, the power supply to the kidneys and to the pancreas, got so weak that he developed diabetes. And then that got even weaker. And so then he started developing kidney failure. And then basically did not really manage his health properly, ended up having a kidney and pancreas transplant when he was 59, and he died at 67.
Wow.
So I made it a personal mission in my own life. I'm almost 54 now, and I don't have any of those conditions. But I remember being 19, and my back would give out for 2 weeks, and I couldn't move, right? And it was the same cycle happening because I had that same set of cells. So if I would have followed exactly what he did, I'd have gone conventional, and I'd have probably ended up in the exact same situation. But I've taken a preventative approach, and I really thought outside of the box, and I've overcome all of that. In fact, my back's probably better now than it was when I was 19.
Wow.
And I know how to manage it. So, and I don't have any diabetes, and I don't have any kidney problems, and my L3 nerve is fantastic. But it took a lot of work to do that. So, because I had such an ingrained history of it, and it's beyond my dad. My grandmother had diabetes also, and so it trickled into, no telling how many other generations had it before. So you really, if you have a condition like a kidney problem, it's best to get it checked right away with us. It's best to start some type of online program for self-healing right away and start to learn some concepts on how to detox. Because if you just follow the conventional model, I mean, if you ever see anybody go through dialysis, it's not fun. I mean, if you go to those dialysis clinics, those people don't even look like they're living. I mean, it's really, really, it's not a fun procedure for them. I'll also add one other thing is we in our clinic, we do all these amazing things. We've been non-invasive for all these decades, and finally, because of the level of toxicity in people, I finally had to add something invasive. So we have this procedure called EBU, and it basically takes the blood out of your body, filters it 60% of all the toxins that are in the blood. Then it reoxygenates and ozonates it and puts it back in the other arm.
Wow.
So that procedure, you can't even imagine if you have this sort of issue. Depends on the level. Now, if you get to a certain point and you have congestive heart failure and real bad kidneys, you may not be a candidate for that. But before, it's so crucial. I tell people all the time, it's so crucial that you get that blood cleaned regularly, because if you don't, you're waiting for all this stuff to happen.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Cormier, and I hope you guys enjoy watching.
Thank you. If you can relate to what we talked about in this podcast, then subscribe to our channel and like this video, as it really helps the algorithm. Don't forget, if you want to help yourself with self-healing at home right now, then simply become a Body Chargers by Dr. Chris member. And remember, our clinic, the Nerve Health Institute, is open all year round for in-person visits. For more information, just click the link below.